Hello ladies, it's Stephanie, it's me. Welcome to Wednesday evening Facebook Live. So for those of you that don't know me, my name's Stephanie. I'm the curator, the coach for the Amazing Women Who Don't Drink group. So any new ladies, please say hi. We love it when you post and say hi. Also watch the welcome video at the top of the page. It's really important because it tells you where everything is. So why me? Well, I'm passionate about teaching people how to live happy, healthy lives. Hi Amy, lovely to see you. But it's not just that I've got my own journey to share, which started 11 years ago. It's also that I've worked with thousands and thousands of people. So I want to share with you what I've seen that works, having worked with a lot of people and supported lots of practitioners to work with people as well. So it's not just what I've seen works for me, is what I've seen works for a lot of people. That's why I do what I do, really, because I feel incredibly privileged to have witnessed some amazing changes over the last 11 years. A lot of people changing. So any tips that I can give you to help you on your journey, that's great. So what have we got going on at the moment? We've just done the Ab Fab challenge, which was brilliant. I love that. I bought some tights today, ladies, and I'm having my hair done tomorrow, so that's all good. We are now doing the positivity posts on the run up to Christmas, so watch out for my positivity post every day. I love the gratuity one today. That is amazing. If you need your spirits lifting, ladies, have a read of that post. There's some amazing stuff on there. I'll also be doing some Christmas giveaways because it's Christmas, even though I'm not a fan of Christmas, but you know, why not? And also letting you know about some special offers coming up for January. So, you know, getting excited about New Year, New You. So getting some special offers in there. And then also, as always, we've got the 14-day mini coaching program, which will be starting again at the end of December. So any ladies that are struggling or want a bit of extra support, come on in there and we can really get you started, get you a bit of motivation. Tonight's Facebook Live, I'm going to talk about when we hang on to sort of negative feelings when things happen. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't feel bad or angry or sad or all those negative things. Hi Delia, nice to see you. And we absolutely need to feel those things, you know, to process them. We do. And one of the big things, as we all know, ladies, when we stop drinking is that we feel. So, and learning how to, you know, just be with that, to process that is okay. So this isn't about not feeling. It's about making sure that you don't stay in the negative for too long. Okay. So it's not about not feeling things appropriately, because life's going to happen, you know, things are going to happen, people die, you know, our partners do things, difficult children, divorce, you know, things that happen that sort of blindside us. The trick is not to stay in the negative emotion all the time and to drag it out for too long. I'm sure you know what I mean. So I posted the other day one of my favourite little stories about this. It illustrates it really well. I'm sure you've realised by now that I'm a massive fan of metaphor and story. So I'm just going to read it again so that we can get in the right headspace to listen to this. So, okay, so it's the Buddhist monk story. So a senior monk and a junior monk were travelling together. At one point, they came to a river with a strong current. As the monks were preparing to cross the river, they saw a very young and beautiful woman also attempting to cross. The young woman asked if they could help her cross to the other side. The two monks glanced at one another because they had taken vows to not touch a woman. Then, without words, the older monk picked up the woman, carried her across the river and placed her gently on the other side, carrying on his journey. The younger monk couldn't believe what had happened. After rejoining his companion, he was speechless, and an hour passed without a word between them. 2 more hours passed, then 3, and finally the younger monk could contain himself any longer and blurted out, "As monks, we are not permitted to touch a woman. How could you then carry that woman on your shoulders?" The older monk looked at him and replied, "Brother, I set her down on the other side of the river. Why are you still carrying her?" So I just think that explains it beautifully. So it's a really simple story about living in the present moment, and how, you know, how often we carry around past hurts with us for too long. It's not about the appropriate ones, remember. So we can hold on to resentments when actually the only person we're hurting is ourselves. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit more, and to get you thinking about some of the thought processes behind that. So if you're hanging on to past resentments, past hurts, I want you to ask yourself why. And this sort of comes down to, it may take you a while to process this, to think this through, and it's a little bit about being really honest, and even if it's something really silly, and listening to your inner wisdom, because ultimately sometimes it's about, you know, that we all live by different standards. You know, we all have different codes, rules. Yes, it's similar, otherwise we wouldn't be able to function in the world together, but we're all different. So we'll have, you know, what one person thinks is a mistake and unforgivable is completely different to what the next person thinks. So when, you know, when you're in a relationship and somebody does something, you know, and the other person gives you a hard time, you know, that's just about different standards, when essentially what it all is it's just mistakes, and we're humans and we make mistakes. So it's not about a hierarchy of mistakes, if you see what I mean. Okay, so for an example of this would be, take a woman that's in a relationship, maybe she's married with children and the man is unfaithful. Now, I'm not for one moment condoning that sort of behaviour, ladies, but it's just an example. And, you know, long-term relationships, it's going to be tough sometimes, isn't it? And things aren't always going to go according to plan. So obviously you're going to be hurt about that. But sometimes what can happen is people hang on to that hurt for a really, really long time. And, you know, you feel hurt and angry and let down and all those negative feelings. So the process underneath it can sometimes be, you know, about that person being right, because, you know, the world says that when we're in long-term relationships we shouldn't be unfaithful to each other, and I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but, you know, that's like the code, isn't it? The type of thing where somebody's made a mistake. So it's that thing about feeling vindicated, feeling justified in your hurt and anger, you know, that you're right and he's wrong. So, and sometimes what people can do is they can, you know, talk about it a lot and enroll people in their plight and feel justified in that, and, you know, get people to agree with them, and all that's well and good. I'm not saying that's wrong, but at the end of the day, if it carries on for too long, the only person that's getting hurt is you, because you're hanging on to the resentment and the anger. And it could be absolutely anything. You know, it could be something that happened 10 years ago, something that happened 5 years ago. It might be, you know, that you got fired from a job. It could be 1,000,001 different things and reasons why you're hanging on to stuff, very much similar to like the Buddhist story. Now, here's the thing, it doesn't matter whether we're right or wrong. And I know that's a bit controversial, me saying that, but what matters is how you feel and how you live your life. You know, if you're living your life with mostly negative feelings, and that's based on sort of past events, past hurts, past angers, resentments, then I would strongly encourage you to have a think about what's behind that. You know, why are you hanging on to those feelings, and can you just put them down? Similar to the monk in the story, you know, just take the backpack off and put it down and just let go of all that baggage. So yeah, I've got some ladies commenting here. So, hi Sarah, lovely to see you. Hi Suzanne. Yeah, you're so right, I hang on to too much stuff. Do you know what, Sarah, it's really common. I don't want you to give yourself a hard time about it. It's one of the, I think if I had a penny for every time I said, can you accept that and let that go, I'd probably be a millionaire by now. So yeah, learning how to be in the moment. So when life's difficult, you know, when you do have those hurts and resentments, you know, if you think about in this moment, so in this moment now, you're watching me. So in this moment, everything's okay because you're watching and you're listening to me, you're living, you're breathing, you're happy, you're healthy, you know, you've probably got a roof over your head, you've definitely got Wi-Fi, you've got access to a smartphone, do you know what I mean? So in this moment, everything is okay. So it's learning how to be in the moment and different practices around that, which will also help you to let go of past hurts and resentments. But I also want you to, if you are somebody that has a lot of past hurt and resentments, is have a think about what's behind that. Now, if you need to, a good way of doing this is just writing it down. You know, what do you think's behind that? Why are you hanging on to it? Just let it all out. Another good way of doing this is videoing yourself and then just leaving it for a couple of days and then maybe come back to it with fresh eyes, and then you can read it back again, and sometimes you can see exactly why you're hanging on to it. Is it because you feel right, you know, you feel vindicated, or you feel like you didn't, you know, there'll be lots of reasons, none of which will be relevant today, I promise. Yeah, so Sarah says her hurts go back 32 years. So that's quite a lot of stuff to hang on to, isn't it? And, you know, I'd ask you, why are you hanging on to that? So have a think about that, Sarah. You know, what's the positive intention of you hanging on to that, and why could you not just put it down and let it go? So it's like, there's another really good Buddhist saying, it's all about Buddhist stuff today, but you know, when you throw a hot coal, the only person that gets hurt is you. So that's the same thing. So like, whenever we get angry, and I'm not saying we shouldn't get angry, you know, this is about appropriateness of emotion. So things are going to happen, you're going to feel emotions, and all that's real and fine and okay, and we have to process difficult emotions, we do. It's just if we stay in them too long, so where we hang on, so we're holding the lady, we're holding the backpack, and we're still carrying them, you know, a couple of years down the line, and that's when we really need to think about letting, you know, those things go, because negative emotions, they take up a lot more energy than positive emotions, and I'm sure, ladies, you'll agree with me, they don't feel very nice. So whatever we can do to let that go, to be in the moment, and to focus on the positive. And one of the reasons why I'm doing the positivity posts is, and I'll talk about this every day, is, you know, there'll be a little tip. So getting you to think about something good that's in your life, or focus on something good. So even if it's just for a moment where you think about something that you're grateful for in your life. Now, if you're thinking about something that you're grateful for, you can't feel angry, you can't feel guilt, you can't feel you know, all those negative emotions, you just can't. So learning how to focus on what's good in your life is a really good practice, and we've all got something we can be grateful for, because if you're in this group, you have internet and a smartphone. Now, I know that isn't the be all and end all, but actually that's quite a lot. You know, you've got eyes, you can breathe. You know, there's always something to be grateful for. Okay, so I hope that was useful, ladies. And hi, Linda, Liani. Yes, shifting focus, spot on, absolutely. Which is what I'm going to be doing a lot of on the run up to Christmas. As you know, I love a bit of positivity. Anything really that you can do to do that. So I'll be doing lots of posts around that as well. But for now, I want you to let it all go. Okay, put the backpack down, put the lady down. But yeah, any questions about that, just ask me, and I'll see you soon. Take care, ladies. Bye.